We didn't expect news this big to drop on a random Monday night. These Katt Williams allegations about Ellen might be the biggest so far.
Yeah.
There was always one question people in Hollywood avoided answering. How did someone who told the world to be kind end up being described behind the scenes as cold, strict, and even a little intimidating to work with? That question kept coming up whenever people talked about Ellen DeGeneres. On camera, she was all smiles, dancing, and laughter, but off camera, the stories didn't always match. For nearly 20 years, she dominated daytime TV. The Ellen DeGeneres Show became one of the biggest talk shows in America, with celebrities lining up to appear. Millions watched daily, and her message was simple: be kind to one another. But when the show suddenly ended, the whispers grew louder, and people began asking what was really happening behind the scenes. That's where it starts to connect to what comedian Katt Williams has been warning about for years. Never played it safe. While others stayed quiet to protect their careers, he spoke out openly. He said Hollywood isn't what it appears to be, and according to him, things are deeply messed up behind the scenes when the cameras are off.
At least if you're in the ATL and a nigga doing drugs in the ATL, the nigga at least excuse himself, go to the bathroom or some shit. Cause in Hollywood just do the drugs right in front of you and act like ain't shit happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
Did you know that I can see you? Nigga, you right there. It's on your nose.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Come here, come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Obi? He came out the closet, he came out the closet, oh my God, who run?
He claimed the smiles, the kindness, the perfect image, it was all part of an act. So when stories about Ellen's workplace began to surface, many people remembered what Katt had been saying and started seeing things differently. But Ellen didn't start at the top. She was born on January 26, 1958, in Louisiana. For fame, she lived a normal life, working regular jobs and trying to find her path. In the early 1980s, she began doing stand-up comedy in small clubs, performing late at night for small audiences. Then in 1986, everything changed. She appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and after her performance, Carson invited her to sit on the couch, something that, back then, meant you had truly made it.
This is a good night for a young comedian to appear because you're all in a great mood. This is her first appearance on network television, although she can be seen this month on HBO's Young Comedian Special. And she's working at the Improvisation in San Diego this weekend. She'll be at the San Francisco Punchline the 3rd through the 6th of December, and at the Dallas Improv December the 9th through the 6th to 14th. Would you welcome Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen?
Thank you. Hi. Good. You feeling good? Me too. Feels great. I've been keeping in shape lately, you know. You have to. I'm getting older. I'm 27. People say, you don't look 27. You look like you're about 23. I'm lucky because that runs in my family. My grandmother is 97. She looks about 93. Have a little nephew who's 4. Doesn't even look like he's born yet. Tiny embryo of a thing. That's great. That whole fitness thing runs in my family, though, I think. That my grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 today, and we don't know where the hell she is. I'm kidding. We know where she is. She's in prison. But, I'm kidding again. You know, I kid a lot because I'm a comedian.
From there, her career took off. In the 1990s, she starred in her own sitcom, Ellen. Then in 1997, she made a bold move and publicly came out as gay, which was a huge risk in Hollywood at the time. Soon after, her show was canceled and some networks distanced themselves. For a while, it seemed like her career might be over, but she made a comeback. In 2003, she launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show, returning with a clear image, positive, kind, and full of good energy. At the end of every episode, she repeated the same message: Be Kind to One Another, which became her brand. The show became a massive success, running for over 3,000 episodes, winning dozens of awards, and making her one of the most powerful figures on television. Behind the scenes, a different story began to emerge. Some former staff members spoke out, describing the workplace as stressful and tense. One early employee even claimed they were told not to speak to Ellen or make eye contact, and many said they constantly
in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just fucking stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And you're in or out. So there's a lot of it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough bosses.
Yeah.
I wrote for Bill Maher.
Sure.
And so I was just tough enough, but then there was these first-time writers they used to cry. There was a lot of crying in the hallways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just feels like it's not a good energy for a workplace or a show. I feel like you're getting less out of people by treating them like that.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. I think in the long run. I think in the short run you might get more, but in the long run people get exhausted. You break them. They can't. And then you hit sweeps, which is you're working 12, 14-hour days because it's the ratings months and then nobody can give anything, and you just hit walls.
This former waitress claims she was threatened with a 2-week suspension after Ellen DeGeneres complained about, of all things, her chipped fingernail polish.
I remember just being like, really?
Chris Farris says it happened when Ellen and Portia de Rossi had Sunday brunch at the high-end vegan restaurant in West Hollywood where she was waiting tables. But a week later, Farris says her boss got an email from the talk show queen.
They were like, we have to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chipped nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
Farris says in a bid to placate the high-profile celebrity, her boss hit her with a 2-week suspension at no pay. She got so upset, she quit.
They were going to suspend me if I hadn't quit for the 2 weeks.
What would you say to Ellen?
I would say, what is happening in your life that you are already busy with the bountiful grace that's happening to your wealth, your influence? Why do you have the time to mess with someone who was just serving you?
Do you look at Ellen differently now because of that incident?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, before this, I was a huge fan.
Like many waitresses in L.A., Farrah is also an actress and does stand-up comedy.
I don't want to name any names.
The waitress's story is just the latest blow for Ellen, who faces accusations of turning a blind eye to a toxic work culture at her talk show, despite her public reputation for being kind to people.
Be kind to one another. I felt mostly just sad that Ellen is so rich and powerful and a female comedian would take her time to hurt someone who she probably guesses is somewhat of a starving artist. I have seen some of the celebrities who came out and been like, well, she was never rude to me. And I'll be like, yeah, you're a rich, powerful celebrity. Well, she wasn't rude to you, I get it. But you aren't someone who's working underneath her.
One producer claimed Ellen was aware of how people were being treated but chose to stay quiet. According to that account, someone else would play the tough role and yell, while she stood back and laughed. The image seen on TV didn't match what some people experienced behind the scenes. Then, old clips began to resurface. In one interview, she kept pushing Taylor Swift to talk about her dating life, even though Taylor clearly seemed uncomfortable, turning it into an awkward game. In another moment, Dakota Johnson corrected her live on air about not being invited to a party, and that small exchange caught attention as a crack in Ellen's polished image. But the moment that really stayed with people involved Mariah Carey. During an interview, Ellen joked about pregnancy rumors and brought out drinks, pressuring Mariah to take a sip to prove them wrong. Mariah appeared uncomfortable but eventually went along with it. Many people began to feel that Ellen might not be as kind off camera as SH.
We both really know now that Miss Ellen, not as nice as she portrayed on TV. Now, the most awkward, uncomfortable, and borderline unethical interview that Ellen did has to be Mariah Carey. Make sure you watch my pop culture paint lesson about Dakota and Ellen to get all of the tea. Mariah Carey was on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2008, and Ellen obviously has to pry and bring up the pregnancy rumors that were circulating at the time. She didn't just do that though. In order to pressure an answer out of her, she made her drink champagne live on TV.
The other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to. Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since we. I
can't believe you did this to me, Ellen. What? No, I'm not going to ask you if you're pregnant or not. I'm peer pressure. You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure. No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should. My goodness. I can't believe that. Why would we toast to that? You're pregnant.
Mariah didn't want to release that she was pregnant yet because she has had a history of having miscarriages, and it was way too early on. Shortly after the interview, Mariah suffered a miscarriage. She talks all about this in some interviews from 2020 and her book that came out, but that's honestly a very evil thing for someone like Ellen to do with her platform. And Mariah continuously brings up that how uncomfortable that moment made her. Whether or not it was real champagne doesn't really matter. It's the fact that she was pressuring her into answering on live TV.